Have you ever looked at your past and your mistakes and maybe your current mess and you thought, yeah, God's not going to want to use someone like me? Well, let me just tell you, if God only used perfect people, then the Bible would just be a pamphlet. So grab your coffee because today we're busting that lie wide open. So I personally remember a season where I was so caught up in failure and the illnesses I was going through, and I honestly thought I had been disqualified from doing anything meaningful for God. I mean, look at the saints, the pastors, the people that are leading Bible studies. They seem so holy, so together. Meanwhile, I was just trying to keep my prayer life alive, get to church, and remember what day it was. But then one day I was praying in the evening and it just hit me. God loves using people the world would overlook. So Moses was a stutterer, David was an adulterer, Rahab was a prostitute, Peter denied Jesus 3 times, and Paul, he was literally hunted of Christians, killing Christians before becoming one of the greatest evangelists ever. So if God can use them, then he can use you. So 1 Corinthians 27 through 29 says, God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise so that no one may boast before him. God's not looking for perfect resumes. He's looking for willing hearts, people that want to serve. It's like God's running a bakery. He doesn't care if the flour's in that fancy bag or a wrinkly paper one. He's looking at whether it's the right ingredient. Now, by the way, if you've ever felt too messy for God to use you, then officially you qualify for this channel. So go ahead, do me that favor, do me a solid, go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's like the club for the perfectly imperfect. And yes, why do we think we're unusable? I mean, we fall into a few categories with that comparison trap. We think, I'm not as holy as this other person, or we have shame from our past. We keep replaying our old mistakes like they're really a bad movie. And we have fear of failure as well. We think if we try this and we mess up, then it's going to prove that we weren't called. So God can use your mess for his message because your story matters. The very thing that you've been through might be what helps somebody else break free. I have a great example of that. When I went through SIBO, I shared that whole part of my life with the world, and I helped a lot of people. And it was a very hard thing to share, but I'm so glad that I did, because I've had people from all around the world come to me and thank me for sharing something so vulnerable. God can use your mess for his message. So your story truly matters. The very thing that you've been through might be what helps somebody else break free. Weakness becomes strength. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, my power is made perfect in weakness. Obedience over perfection. God blesses steps of faith, even small ones. So here's another example. Think about Peter. The guy couldn't walk on water for more than a few seconds without sinking because he took his eyes off Jesus. But then Jesus still told him, feed my sheep. And that's total trust. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one way God has used your messy story to encourage someone else? If you would like to be a guest on the Light of the Word podcast, which is launching in September, we would love to have you tell your God story about how God showed up in your life. Be sure to post down below or message me at the YouTube area here. My email is in there. I would love to hear from you, or drop it in the comments. You might just give someone the courage to believe how God can use you too. So friends, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. Remember that. He doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And if he's stirring something in your heart, it's because he's already prepared the way for you to do it. Now, if you enjoyed this little coffee chat, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and share this with somebody who feels like they're on God's bench. No, spoiler alert, there's no bench in the kingdom. But until next time, please keep your coffee hot, your heart open, and your eyes on Jesus. This is Coffee and Christ with Lisa, and I'll see you soon on the next episode. Bye now.